Hello everyone, Ryan here. Supergirl Volume 1, Last Daughter of Krypton, by Michael Green, Mike Johnson, and Mahmoud Asrar. Read this graphic novel recently, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's pretty much like her origin story. Of course, if you're not familiar with Supergirl, she is the cousin of Superman. She's supposed to be the older cousin, except she looks a lot younger than him because she was actually frozen, kind of like cryogenically frozen by her scientist father. Her father is supposed to be this awesome Kryptonian scientist, and I guess he was involved in various projects, and eventually he became convinced that Krypton's destruction was imminent, and he wanted to save his daughter. So I guess he was able to perfect this certain kind of technology so that he could freeze her, put her in a pod, and then launch the pod out into space. So it just floated through space for a number of years. I want to say close to a couple of decades, and until finally it crash landed on Earth, and the crash then wakes her up. Which, by the way, her name is Kara, or Kara. I say Kara. It's Kara Zor-El. So yeah, it wakes her up, and she starts freaking out because she thinks she's dreaming. She doesn't know where she is, and then also she discovers she has all these new abilities and powers, and because of the yellow sun on Earth, it affects her Kryptonian DNA differently than it does humans. You know, just like the same with Superman. So, and Superman shows up, and he asks all these questions, and he realizes that they're cousins, they're related. He tries to tell her that. Of course, she doesn't believe him, and he tells her Krypton was destroyed. She doesn't believe that either, and then they fight each other. It was actually a pretty cool fight. Definitely pretty interesting. Of course, eventually they stop fighting each other, and she decides to fly all the way back to Krypton, and which of course she's not able to because Krypton no longer exists. And she comes upon what remains of Krypton, which is this domed city. It's the city where she actually lived in. Her father had created this technology to create this some kind of impenetrable dome, I guess, to protect the city. And so yeah, it's just this one city that's left, and it's orbiting around some blue star of some kind. And of course, she hopes to find her parents there. Of course, they're no longer there. But she comes upon this weird alien being that goes by the name of Rain. Yeah, Rain. R-E-I-G-N. Rain. And I never heard of the character Rain before, but yeah, it's supposed to be some kind of world killer, or what's referred to as a world killer. And yeah, I guess she was supposed to have been engineered for the exact purpose of conquering worlds or something like that. And if not conquer, then destroy worlds. So so they kind of face off, but Kara, Supergirl, she's not able to really fight Rain until they're back on Earth, because the yellow sun is what gives her her abilities, her powers, just like with Superman. And then she ends up having to face off against Rain and 3 other of these world killer beings, and Superman's not able to help because then also Rain uses the same dome technology to cover the city in which they're fighting. So ultimately, to me, it didn't seem like a fair fight. I mean, you had 4 of these alien beings facing off against one Supergirl, and but either way, a Supergirl, she ends up pretty much kicking their asses, and then Rain kind of throws in the towel, she decides to retreat because she decides that she's gonna come back later. She tells Supergirl something along the lines of, well, you defeated us this time, you win this round, but we'll be back, we'll be stronger. And, one of the typical villain lines. So, that's pretty much it. And then, finally, Supergirl, she realizes, just how powerful she really is. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to reading Volume 2. Volume 2 also looks pretty cool. There were some other details that I left out because I didn't want to give away too much. But overall, I would definitely recommend this to DC Comics fans, Superman fans, Supergirl fans. It's definitely interesting. I hope that if a Supergirl movie ever does get made, this would be a good place to start. Because I feel like this graphic novel, it's definitely a good introduction to Supergirl. I mean, especially for people who aren't too familiar with Supergirl, as far as where she comes from, who she is, and all that, how she arrived on Earth. So, yeah, that's what I feel. Overall, I guess I would give it a rating of 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, 4 out of 5. So, that pretty much does it for my review of this Supergirl Volume 1, Last Daughter of Krypton. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. As always, until next time, don't forget, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.